I think data has long been used to inform and understand audiences and being able to then pinpoint those who are really core, those who are new, to be able to have relevant experiences. I think it really does come down to a connection between the advertiser, their message, and the audience that's receiving it. So to be able to have an experience that is united on that front, that is connecting and delivering against that very specific and that very optimized delivery. I think that just makes the whole experience more relevant. And it's going to be the piece that really differentiates between the platforms from the consumer's experience. So, how they get the advertising delivery right, the messages, kind of the brand connections being as relevant to that audience as possible really drives the better experience overall.
So, what would you advise the publishers in terms of making their context more relevant and more available?
Yeah, I think we're seeing, if we look at what's happening today and we take it from the publisher's perspective, their strategy right now is really driven by changes in where consumers are at, right? Given the context that we're in. And we're seeing just this increase in consumers spending time on the different platforms and with the different publishers. So ensuring that there is the content, that there is this selection and the choice that draws people in from an originals and from an exclusive standpoint, and really understanding the role that the content plays, not just for educating or informing or providing an escape, but also that it's providing a social connection right now, which I think is really, really important. And one for them, to look to sustain past this time that we're in today. And so to really understand this audience that they're bringing in that might be new, and to extend that footprint of the experience that is relevant, that it's specific, that it's meaningful, for ways to keep those newer viewers in kind of post-crisis, and even to attract new users to their platform. So it really does extend the same tenets of having just an experience that is relevant and united for those viewers.
And what's Nielsen's role in terms of understanding the impact of the value of contextual advertising?
Yeah, I think Nielsen has a lot of solutions around the world, from local to global, really helping answer a number of these questions for clients. And it really starts from being able to plan with that level of specificity. So being able to move beyond kind of age and gender, to know those audiences and to understand those audiences, all the way to be able to measure the outcomes among those same groups. And I think that kind of total system accuracy, or that end to end, it's informative, and it's really helpful for our clients to understand how effectively and how efficiently they're doing exactly what they're looking to do from a performance standpoint. And I think right now, where we're seeing a lot of conversation and where we're helping both advertisers and publishers as marketers, is really optimizing that, is really looking at their media and making sure that they're in the right channels in the right ways to be able to do exactly that, plan effectively, deliver the experience, and then measure that performance.
Great. And finally, some thoughts about how the audiences are changing so quickly, growing, consuming in different ways than they have. How's Nielsen sort of keeping up with that, this big transformation of consumption, and how the audiences are changing themselves?
Yeah, it's a great question, and certainly very timely. If you look right now, of course, with work from home orders or stay at home orders in place, you're certainly seeing an increase in overall media consumption. We had estimates of close to 12 hours a day that consumers were connecting with media, and that continues to increase. So right now, where we're seeing the biggest increases in streaming. And Andy, we were able to look at the last week of March relative to the first week of March, and it's up almost 3 hours per person per week. So just that notion of who's there, who's being drawn in, and how that audience base is changing because of just the opportunity for that engagement, just having more audiences being brought in than ever before, and spending more time than ever before.